Hello and welcome to the latest OGS videocast debunking COVID-19. Today's date is the 31st of October 2020. Today I'm going to look at number 14, Iran. 34,864 dead for a population of 84 million. I get my data set from here. You can download it in many formats. I get it in an Excel format, which is this sheet here. Get all the countries and dates and lots of information. I need to clean that out a little bit. I'm just looking for Iran. So I'm just cleaning up and getting it formatted. So here we have the date by dates, and the Iranians were starting on the 20th of February. The first people died, reported dead, were the 20th of February. That was about a couple of weeks earlier than Europe, about a month earlier than Europe actually, and it's never stopped. I think they've had one day with no deaths. I've added in a few extra columns to help me later on. Now in the next chart, in the next slide, I'm going to try put this into a graph, all this information here. But as you see, due to the population size, it's not possible. So what I'm going to do in the next slide is I'm going to add in scale. So what I've done is I have reduced the population of Iran by 1,000. So this is the scale. Not easy to see here, so let me clean that up a little bit. Here we go. So cases in red and in black are the dead if you can see them. And I'm just telling you straight away, since I've done so many of these videos, well, a little bit in July, and it's actually starting. Now is the time that it's starting, but we'll get into that in a few seconds. I'm going to zoom in on that. So from the 20th, and this is with comorbidities, huh? So there's the black line. This is heavily magnified. I think it's about, well, it's down to 1,000 lines in Excel, so whatever size that is. There's a little bump, but that was got to do with one day. I looked at the numbers, and it kind of must have been going into a weekend or a holy day. There was a couple of issues. There's about 3 or 4 of these points. This was, yeah, they recorded no cases one day, and then they added in a lot more. There was very few deaths one day, and then they added in a whole bunch. I think it was 0 here and 314. These were on average 188, 199 when I looked at the information. Same again, it must have been a religious day. They made up for it the following day. But that's kind of what COVID-19 is with comorbidities. Same again. You know, as the weeks go on, they stopped reporting on every day. A lot of the countries did. So there we are. It's actually now growing in Iran, if you believe their numbers, which I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. So let me go back to that. That's the clean version. That's the original version where the deaths very hard to see. I increased the number of dead by 5, so 5 times. And there's still basically nothing. Starting here a little bit, numbers going up there. That's 5 times. That's back to where it was. So now what I'm going to do here is we're already at scale. We're at a 1 to 1,000 scale. So what I'd like you to imagine is Iran as a 3D model. All of Iran. Split that up into 1,000 equal parts. Remove 999 parts instantly. They are not affected by COVID-19. No way, safe and sound. No way has it anything to do with them. Now, that last one little square, which is representing a tiny part of Iran, is represented by my charts. And here, as you see, a tiny part of my chart here are the people that died of apparently COVID-19. Now, when I remove the comorbidities, it's flatlined. There's nothing. There's 0. Let me just zoom in on that. So this is Iran from the 2nd of February. No comorbidities, no cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, old age, motorbike, whatever reason. Given the people died. Now here you see, I can see a little bit of the black line. Nothing here, tiny little bit here, tiny little bit there. And we should get a little increase just at the very end. I can see here a little bit of the black line, heavily magnified, of course. Nothing, 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 nothing. Zip, 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 zip. We're heading into September. Zip, zip. Here, it's got a little bit thicker here. Got a little bit thicker, but it's so, I mean, that's heavily magnified. There's nothing. Iran are I presume, playing for sympathy or whatever they're doing. They're just writing. I presume it's that they're just putting down a percentage of the people that die with respiratory problems. They're just saying it's COVID, but they definitely haven't. The Iranians haven't isolated. They haven't reproduced it. No one has. It's a hoax. Weaponized winter season from a plan made in 2010. Ogner out.